What's going on, everyone? This is a very big day for us. Now, a few weeks back, we did a Thanos review that was from Queen's studio. Beautiful sculptures. My first time I've ever seen like a large statue like that. It blew my mind. Anyway, Collectors Ark said, you know what? You think Thanos was badass? We actually got a lot more in our studio. So that's where we're at right now. We're gonna walk through the door and we're gonna see what Collectors Ark has for us today. I'm hearing life-size, hyper-realism, and masterpieces in terms of art. Let's check them out. Come on, Zachy, come on. This is Collectors Ark. Look what we've got here for a second. There's Thanos. Remember Thanos that we talked about? By the way, if you haven't seen that video, put a link right here. Check that out, but check it out after this video, okay? Then of course you got Tom Holland's Spider-Man right here. Then you got the Iron Spider suit. Look at that. Then I'm a Batman fan. Look at this beast. This is Hush Batman right here from Prime Studios. Look at the detail on this. Absolutely amazing. But we're not here to talk about that actually today, because we're here to see two pieces that are very exclusive to Collectors Ark that if you're a Batman fan or a Suicide Squad fan, you're gonna love it. We got Heath Ledger's Joker and we got Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. And these are from Infinity Studios, okay? And they're here for a limited time, but they're so exclusive. These are pieces of art that we were invited to actually take a look at these. Now, just looking at this, we'll talk about the Joker here first because I'm a huge Batman fan and Heath Ledger's Joker to me was iconic and probably the best portrayal of the Joker we have seen thus far. I would say, some of you might disagree with me, better than Joaquin Phoenix. I think Heath Ledger's was just a little bit better. That's just me. Anyway, but he also did a great job in that film. But let's talk about this for a moment. This is a piece of art. Now, I'm not going to go and touch a lot of things on this because this is quite high valued. And we're not talking a few $100s or even $1,000. We're talking in, around 5,000 plus thereabouts, okay? And if you're more interested, you can actually talk to Collectors Ark by their Facebook page. We'll put a link right here to check that out. I want to just go through the details of looking at this. I mean, if you want to talk about something that looks exactly like Heath Ledger's Joker in terms of the facial construction, the detail from the hair, the clothing, to just the subtleties of this. This is bang on in my personal opinion. When I saw this, I saw a photo of it first and I was just blown away, but now you see it in person. I mean, just the skin texture for a moment, okay, it's silicone based. So you actually get to see the subtleties of the skin, a little bit of the sweat beads on the forehead. Even the hairs are plugged in ever so fine. It looks like a hair transplant. It is so natural. It looks so good. You would be hard pressed at first glance to think this is not a real person. I mean, obviously it can't be real, but you know what I mean? But it looks like that. But let's even go to the clothing for a second here. The textures, this is all legitimate clothing. This is not sculptures right here. This is not leather right here. But everything else, I'm not gonna touch his skin, but his hair, everything is legitimate. Even this base sculpture here. Now, Infinity Studio does a half body. That's what they normally do, half body, and they kind of use the base to sort of tie into the character a little bit. And as you can see, the rubble that we saw in The Dark Knight, why so serious? There's a knife right here stuck into the side of it. But the colors, the accuracy, how screen accurate this is mind-blowing. Even if we look at his face, the cuts on from his cheeks into his mouth, the makeup around the eyes, the eyelashes, the eyeballs, even the color of the iris is just bang on. Now let's take a look at the back of the Joker as well, because there's another interesting addition to this. He's holding his mask from the bank robbery scene in one hand right here. Now this mask can come off. This is detachable, of course. But look at this. Look at the detail. From the buttons to the jacket to the lining inside. This is amazing. And then what's interesting here, if you want to see the detail here, look at the neck for a moment, right? Don't want to touch it, but you can see how that goes from the white to the skin tone right there.
The gradient?
Yeah. Yes, the gradient. Ah. So also there's this knife, the switchblade. This is Joker, why so serious? Now, of course, that's just sort of an addition that they're putting in there. as part of an art piece. It's not a real switchblade. What blows my mind is the hair. When you look at the hair, I mean, our hairlines are not like thick, like thick from the very beginning. There's a graduation, from thin to thick. And if you look at this, you see all of that right here in Heath Ledger's hair. It looks natural. The artisans for this have really studied the hairline and actually how to place hair. Maybe they do hair transplants, you never know. Maybe you have to talk to Infinity Studios. Maybe they do them for people as well, who knows? Because that looks real. That looks legitimately real. Even the makeup that goes into the hair, you can see like bits of white makeup that gets into the hairline, as he would, because he's just putting on this makeup and he's not trying to be a perfectionist. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I collect hot toys and things like that personally, but when I see this in the sculpture, it even supersedes that. So that's what we're looking at when you're looking at this kind of workmanship. This is art right here. This goes beyond a normal statue. This is art. I love Margot Robbie. She to me is one of the most beautiful actresses in Hollywood and also one of the most talented. And this is absolutely insane. One cool thing is I can touch on my knuckle here. This is silicone based. It almost feels like skin. One of the great things about these statues is there's no having to put them together. This is what you get out of the box. You don't have to do the hair. You don't have to do anything like that. Infinity Studios really just brings it to you as is. And now we look at the base for a second. We got the love-hate. We've got this whole clouds and the stars, and we've got this very Harley Quinn-esque design to it. But you go in even from the bracelet right here. These are all real bracelets. These are all accessories. Look at Margot Robbie's face. We even have sweat beads around her hairline. The hair, the way the hair is constructed, is so lifelike, so natural. That is actual hair. But it is just so bang on. The eyes. Margot Robbie's got beautiful eyes. So does Harley Quinn. Wow. I get it. I get it now. For those that want ultra realism, as I mentioned about Heath Ledger's Joker, you're getting that in this as well. But you even can see, even on the neck area here, how detailed it all is. The tattoo on her lower wrist right here, to the bracelet, to the nail polish. Look at all the writing on the bat right here. All of this. The Goodnight baseball bat. And this is a real baseball bat. It's not like some synthetic material. That's wood. That's a real wood baseball bat. This is a real shirt that they've tie-dyed and they've stained and they've sewn together with the stitches. You even have the blush, the makeup, how it runs right here. How it's not perfect. It's just natural, as someone would put it on their face, or if it's smeared after wearing it for so long, it has that look to it. Those are the two we want to showcase you. But if you want to see more, we're just going to do a quick, Brandon, I want to show them a couple of things else here. We got the bust of Iron Man here, life size, beautiful. This actually can turn on and off with a remote control. The whole set is set up with this. Very solid, very awesome piece. Then of course you have Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, silicone base as well for the skin, the detail. Looks a lot like Gal Gadot. You may not want to bring Gal Gadot home. Why? Because if your wife don't look like that, and you're going to be looking at Gal Gadot all the time, man, you were sleeping on the couch. So remember, your wife is always prettier than Gal Gadot, no matter what, even if she isn't. Who doesn't like the Predator from Prime One Studios here? Look at this. Look at the details here. We've got various different head sculptures here, all on that. Look at the rocks, the details with the skull. Look at that. That's badass. That looks great. If you're a Predator fan, that's one for you. And of course, Lord of the Rings. Look at this. How epic is this one right here? This is amazing. Zeno, you like this, right? You're a Lord of the Rings fan, right?
This is Balrog and Gandalf.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Gandalf the Grey. Yeah, it's not Gandalf the White. Otherwise, they'd screwed up on the paint job. But absolutely awesome. I mean, Andy's sort of really kind of created like an art gallery here for us comic and movie fans alike. That's what the Collectors Ark is essentially. Then of course, as I mentioned before, we've got Thanos, which we talked about in depth. Then we've got Spider-Man, the Tom Holland version, the Iron Suit, and then Hush Batman here. But, oh, by the way, do you like Alita? Let's take a look at Alita real quick. Look at this. Come over here. Come over here. Alita Battle Angel. Look how realistic this looks like from Queen Studios as well. Look at this. Don't you love, like, it's just a bust, but don't you love how this all just sort of comes into the name right here? Then you got the various different, got the sword right here. Look at the eyes. The way that it's sculpted inside glass. How it's just three-dimensional, how it just pops. And the hair. And of course, this leather, or feels like leather at least, or some sort of material that replicates her suit. It's just this, all of this is absolutely stunning. The amount of detail. Guys, I keep telling you this because I don't know if it'll come across on video, but these are really something that you could just stare at for hours. If you're one of those people that looks and is very particular about how, when you buy a statue, or you buy a figurine, or you buy an investment piece, that you want to make sure that it is as close to screen accurate as possible, that's where these pieces come into play, and they do not disappoint in the least. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome. So that wraps up our tour of Collectors Ark, and of course seeing Heath Ledger's Joker and Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn from Infinity Studios. Now these are very limited pieces once again, so if you are interested, contact Randy at facebook.com/Collectors Ark here in Singapore. And if you want to find out anything more from what Collectors Ark brings in, and from Prime One Studios, Queen Studios, Infinity Studios, they're going to have a lot of different pieces as we've shown you here today, and much more coming along the way, especially Batman, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Predator, Lord of the Rings, Joker, Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman. So do take a look out on their Facebook page as well. Once again, facebook.com/Collectors Ark. With that, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. Be safe out there, and I'll chat to you soon. Take care.